Good afternoon guys, welcome back to the channel. Chris Dennis here, putting specialist and short game performance coach. Today, like I said on Friday, we're going to look at some bunkers. I know this was supposed to be out yesterday, but I have been busy over the last couple of days. So I want to talk about something that I see with all amateurs. So the biggest thing I see with people in bunkers is they can't control where the low point is of their swing. If we can't control your low point, we're entering the sand at different points. We might be entering first time 2 or 3, 4 inches behind the ball. The next time we might not take a divot. So there's one very simple drill we can add into your practice that can give you some feedback. You can start to understand where you're entering the sand. We can start to then change your weight, change your setup, and figure out how we can hit that line so we're entering the sand at the same point every time. We can then get a consistent ball flight. Then we can be consistent out of bunkers and get them onto the green instead of leaving them in here or sending them straight over into the bushes. So let's have a look at that drill. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line simply in the sand here. So we can hit multiple shots using this line. And then I want to make sure at setup the line is just in front of centre. You'll see here my stance is nice and wide. I've got my left foot turned out. So I see a lot of amateurs come in, very narrow stance, weights left, and we start to take big divots, pick the club up, and we start to hit the sand in all different places because of our movement. So a little bit wider stance here, so probably even wider than when you would with a driver, and then we're turning this left foot out so it turns our left knee out, so we're slightly rotated through to start. That's going to help us now be able to release that club and turn our chest hard through the ball, because we want some speed in here to get through the sand and get that ball popping up. We don't want to see people slowing down, falling back is what I see from a lot of amateurs. They bullet it straight into the lip, or they send it straight over into anything over the green. And then you've got the same chip again, scores start to go up, and we start to question how we can avoid the bunkers. So weights left, lines in there now, and we're going to make some swings. So you can see from here I want to turn away, come down, turn to my finish. You'll see that all my weight's still over on the left side, chest is turned towards my target, and now we start to look at where I've entered the sand. So I can see here I've entered the sand maybe an inch behind the line. So what I'm going to do now is just make sure I get a little bit more weight on my left. So this bunker is sloped slightly uphill towards the green. So even more so when we've got that kind of lie, especially in a bunker, we want to get more weight. So we're feeling probably 90, nearly 100% on the left side. I'll shuffle down a little bit now. I'll have more weight there, and we'll go again. Good, so we can see there I've hit the line where I wanted it to. It's nice and shallow, I've not took a big divot. So what I see from amateurs is obviously we'll have our stance close, be very much left-sided, and then from here they fall back. So I've got a very long divot. I would say that's now double if not triple the length of my divots. It's also a lot deeper. I've fallen back to try and help that ball into the air. That ball there would have landed straight into the lip. So we're giving ourselves feedback straight away every time. So if we can give ourselves feedback, we can then learn and we can change that on the next one. So wider stance, weight left, then keep the speed and use the bounce and let it slap that sand as opposed to dig into the sand. So we want it nice and shallow and a relatively small divot. So after we've done that a few times and we've become confident, for yourselves it's all about trial and error. So how much you have the club open. I had a lesson the other week, Dave, who's definitely watching. So Dave came, he struggled with opening the club face. He thought he was going to shank the ball, so he didn't have much confidence straight away. So we can have a closed club face. That will still get the bunker out, and it may guarantee you more times than not to get the ball out as opposed to leave it in. So start with a face closed if you don't have much confidence, and then gradually start to open that up, but we've got to maintain the speed. What Dave was doing, he was slowing down a little bit into the ball. As a result, his head was moving back and we'd start to catch the sand 4 or 5 inches behind the ball and it would stay in. So we got Dave to close the face, get consistent with hitting that line. He started to get all bunker shots out, which was the main aim, not leaving 50 in and sending 50% over the back of the green. He was now hitting the green and giving himself a lot of good chances and chances to get up and down. So in we'd come now. So I've done my practice on the line. I've started to get my low point consistent, and then from here I'm going to come in and play this shot. good. So we can see that's popped up nicely. The divot's a little bit deeper than I wanted, but we can see it's hit the line, and that's why it's popped up and gone straight out onto the green. So after I've done a little bit of practice there, I would go back to my line, start to repeat the process again until I'm confident that every time I'm getting that ball out. Don't focus on a flag. Start to think, okay, let me just get it onto the green, and then we can start to think about hitting towards a flag. Here I've got a bunker shot, as you can see, that's around about 20-25 yards, so it's a long shot. So then obviously we need to think about club selection. I've used my 54 degree there, so that is my sand wedge. I've got 12 degrees of bounce. I see too many people come in here because they're a little bit below the green, they go straight to the 60, and then for them to hit that ball to 25 yards to a flag, they're going to have to use way too much speed, and it's a high tariff shot. We can get this ball out with a 50, with a 54. You could probably even get that out with a pitching wedge, land it shorter and run it out. So it's about trying different clubs in the bunker, not just going to your favourite one, your sand wedge, because that's what it says on the bottom. We can use different wedges. Or James just use a 60 and hit it as hard as possible. So think about club selection, think about getting your low point consistent. So if we get our setup correct, if we get that wider, weight left, ball just in front of centre, we can be nice and positive, we can start to get a consistent low point. If we have a quick talk about down the line, again, a lot of times I see amateurs, they want to close the stance, that's when they pick the club up steep, and that's when they then fall back, cut straight across the ball. We've then got a lot of side spin, we've got a big divot, we've got a long divot, we've got a lot of things that can go wrong and a lot of inconsistencies as a result. So down the line here, if I had a ball in here now, I'm nice and square to my target. I want to be parallel, I don't want to be open, don't want to be too close, I want to be nice and square. I'm a little bit further away, so that helps me get the shaft a little bit shallower, so we're not digging into the sand, and then from there I can make a motion through to my finish, and we should start to see that divot pattern be nice and straight as opposed to digging across the ball. So guys, hopefully that's given you some insight into what to do into the bunker, how to structure your practice a little bit. Get in there first, no ball, start to hit the line, start to control your low point, then bring a ball in. Obviously it's trial and error for yourself with how you open the club face or close the club face, so give that a go, see which is the most consistent for you, and then start to build up to opening that club face as much as you want. You'll see at the end we might even be able to get it nice and flat where the hossel's nearly pointing at the ball. Any problems guys, comment below. What kind of patterns are you seeing? I'll try and answer as many questions as I can. But guys, thanks for watching. I will see you again tomorrow. It's going to be. I will see you again tomorrow when we're going to be looking at a little bit of chipping. As for now guys, enjoy your day and I'll see you tomorrow.